Welcome to the Griot Talk podcast. I am your host, Pete Janvier. Man, today's an absolute pleasure for me to have, man, the one and only, man, Pete Janvier, man. What's good, bro?
What's going on, my man? It's a pleasure,
What's
man.
up, bro?
Long time no see, man.
Yeah,
How's
man, we
everything
here.
going?
Everything's good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Family's good. Health is good. Everything's been good so far. Been able to make it through the pandemic, of course.
Yep.
Health-wise, everything's good on my end. Now I'm no longer in Naples. I'm in the Tampa area. Just got a big-time job, big boy job.
How's it going in Tampa?
Man, it's an adjustment. From Naples to Tampa is two different adjustments, you know. You know, in Naples lifestyle, you got to create fun, create good memories. As in certain cities that have things to do on any given night, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages. But transition has been it's been pretty good. You know, like any transition, moving to a big city, big state. You're nervous, you're scared, you're anxious, but you're also excited, you know. So I'll say that definitely is a challenge.
Was it like a easy transition from Naples to Tampa?
I will say for me, no, personally, I've always been transitioning in life, you know. I've always been moving from one city to another city to another city. Mm-hmm. But the goal in life is to call the city that's home.
There you go.
Know? Naples has always been Naples, Golden Gate especially. Shout out to Golden Gate High School.
Golden Gate High School.
Golden Gate's always
I think that's where we met, right? That's where we met.
High School, man. That's when before the school uniforms and all of that, you know, everything.
School uniforms.
Yeah, man. Things have transitioned, you know, but they transitioned and they changed for the better. I'll say that. But Golden Gate is where we met up at, and you know, we would see each other by passing, and I'm finally glad to actually sit down and talk like grown men. Man.
Yeah, because for a minute I've been seeing you on IG like smoking cigars. I'm like, man, when I come back to Naples,
to link up,
like we gotta link up and smoke a cigar. You know what I'm saying? And now we get to be able to do it on the podcast, which is cool, man. But yeah, man. So how was it, man? After high school, what did you go after that?
After high school, so I graduated many years ago, about 10 years ago from Golden Gate High School. Moved up north. I was in the Northeast, went to a junior college up in Jersey, so I spent a year in a junior college. Uh-huh. Those athletes that know about junior college life know it's a struggle. That's where it tests your character, tests your will, and tests your direction in life. What do you really want? Mm-hmm. Was able to do my time over there and came back and transitioned and made another move to Baltimore. So I spent the last 5 to 6 years in the DMV. So DC, Baltimore. It was a blessing. Ended up graduating from a prestige university, Morgan State University. That's my old stomping ground, and definitely taught me a lot. About, you know, black institution, black history, black education.
HBCUs?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Like, what make Maryland different from all those cities?
Maryland, you know, Maryland's on the Mason-Dixon line, so Maryland is still considered the South, but you start to realize Southern hospitality is very different, you know. You start to realize lingo, you start to realize culture, you start to realize transition. You know, public transportation isn't that big in Florida. Up north, bus, train, and all that. So you have to adapt. A lot of adapting to the weather, of course. That's really what brought me back down to Florida, the weather. Foi direto ao mover pour même cool.
Yeah. Foi direto ao women. Like it's cold, bro.
But I was able to, you know, make that experience. I wanted to move out of Florida to experience that, to say I've been there and done that. I feel like if that's one thing in life you're going to learn.
Nice, good luck. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll say if that's one thing you're going to learn in life is learn to be willing to make adjustments and be willing to make be willing to make certain changes in your life. Regardless if you're nervous or scared, you know, you're going to always be comfortable from home. Home is always going to be there.
Yep.
but memories. How much memories are going to create?
That's what life is all about, man. It's about memories.
Life is really all about that. But Baltimore, it was definitely well worth it. You know, definitely understood about snow. Definitely understood about weather. You know, 40 degrees up north compared to 40 degrees down here is two different 40 degrees. A lot of people don't understand that.
Because I live like an hour away from you, like really? from Maryland. Because I used to live in Virginia. I spent at least almost 5 years. Yeah, almost 5 years in Virginia. I mean, that right there was the highlight of my adulthood.
But I'll say this, you know, coming back down to Florida, the best thing that I ever did was learn how to adapt. So I realized, like in the Florida, the time frame that I was in that, you know, it's okay to not be friendly up north. But I realized being friendly and making those well-needed and well-important connections can take you far in life.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, network is everything.
Network, but you got to know exactly how to network.
Oh, absolutely.
Network is another form of affirmative action. You got to, if you're going to tell somebody I'm going to email you, they're expecting that.
Yes.
You know? If you say to somebody I'm going to hit you up about such and such proposition or this idea, they're expecting you to to follow through with that. A lot of people network just off of just face, but you got to put in work after that. You know, so networking is something I definitely learned a lot of that from my HBCU. You know, we're right down the street from Howard. Everybody knows Howard University, so was able to, you know, make some connections over there too, and met some good people in life, and you're gonna meet some other people in life. But you know, you start to weed out who's good, who's for you, and who's not for you. And I'll say with that, you know, that definitely did help me a lot with my transition coming back, because right now I landed, like I said, a very good job right now, a job that I would never see myself in. I mean, I'm in the stock field, so I'm a stock analyst, and
stock analyst.
So I really just network.
So you're the money man.
The money man?
Yeah.
I'm the HR of America. I'm America's HR, I would say, in a sense. But you know, it's definitely a challenging field. You know, I got that through networking.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to build rapport with good people, and personality and character. Character takes you a long way in life, man.
Absolutely, bro.
And you know, I was able to, you know, make good memories, and you know, I'm a firm believer in start with respect and end with respect as best as possible with all relationships, because you never know when you're ever going to encounter or see those people.
See, I like what you say, because with me is I think respect is like the foundation of all relationship. As men. I think as a man I want to build that relationship just based off respect. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, because I can't do too much emotion stuff, because I don't think that's a solid ground.
But you need emotion. All men need emotion. All men express emotion. Sorry to cut you off. All men express emotion. I say like this: every man can show emotion just off of, like, look at men nowadays. Sports fans, they cry when their favorite team wins. They cry when their favorite team loses. Men know how to express emotions, but you know, we don't create avenues for us to come. We don't allow ourselves to be comfortable to be emotional towards one another. You know, doing, you know, monthly checkups. Hey, how you doing, man? How you feeling? You're seeing your homeboys down, your friends down, relatives. Take them out.
We do show emotion, but it's like it's in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to learn.
It's impulsive.
Yeah, we need to learn how to proper, you know, channel that. I mean, like that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because emotion is good, but
if emotion is not controlled, that's a dangerous thing.
There you go.
Anybody that can't control their emotions, you can be easily manipulated. Anybody could take advantage of you with that.
Absolutely, bro.
And I had to learn that in my trials and tribulations in life. You know, learn to control my emotions. One thing I can always say, you know, with my Haitian background, I was always taught hard work. That's one thing about being a Caribbean. You're gonna learn how to work hard. But then again, it's like, what happens when you're tired? Everybody gets burned out. You know, you get tired of, you know, working this job for year 2, year 3, year 4. You're tired mentally, physically. What are you going to do with that emotion? You know, it's always, you know, a thumbs up to get up and grind, but what are you doing to take care of your mind?
There you go.
How are you taking care of your mental health? Mental health is also a very important thing that I would recommend that every man do, you know. If you work a job, right, And they give you health benefits. They give you benefits on dental, vision.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of your eyes, you take care of your teeth, but what about your brain? You're not doing your daily checkups on really going out to see help, and that the taboo of people seeing a therapist
in our society. Like I feel like back in the days, that more mental health was more frowned upon. I feel like nowadays it
still is.
But it's that conversation is getting some fluid now.
People nowadays they mass seeing a therapist as in God's the creator and God's the savior, as in God didn't create his child or his he didn't create people to have those jobs for you. You have trust in a doctor. You have trust in your dentist, but you can't trust a therapist.
There you go.
So all those positions, all those roles in life were created for a reason, from my perspective.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie though. That's something that I have not experienced. Go see a therapist. That's something that eventually that I would love to sit down with somebody, just unpack some stuff. You know what I mean?
It's more than just impact, because you can see a therapist, but here's my thing. It's like nowadays we're in a digital world. If you see something you don't like, you're quick to voice thumbs up, thumbs down. Look at YouTube. You got a like and dislike button, right?
Yep.
You can leave, reviews on hotels, such and such business. Your brain, you treat it as a business. It's a running machine.
There you go.
But it needs a review. Your brain needs a Google review. That's what a therapist is for. It needs a Yelp review.
There you go.
You need to have a review on where you're at in this stage in life. Men go through a lot of stuff, and women do too as well.
And I don't think like talk to a close friend helps.
It helps it helps to an extent.
Yeah.
I'll say that, because they know you. Of course, you're gonna get a good Google review from somebody that knows you. They're gonna give you 5 stars. That's my friend.
Yeah.
But is a stranger that's giving you honest feedback gonna give you a 5-star?
Yep. Because it's like, because I would recommend people to see a therapist, because talk to your friend is cool, but it's like you go deep in the forest. Like if you go deep in the forest, it's gonna be hard for you to see the tree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your close friends, it's gonna be hard for them to tell you like the hard truth. The raw truth.
Well, a lot of people
because your friends trying to protect your feelings. You know what I'm saying? But the stranger, it's just gonna tell you like, hey man, you need to fix this, you need to fix that.
Yeah, because the stranger doesn't owe you nothing in life.
There you go. just
they don't owe you nothing in life. Most friends owe you some kind of loyalty in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So they're gonna try to protect it as best as possible. Yeah. But it's like piggybacking off of what you say. I'm a very stern believer in just going out and self-evaluation. You got to look yourself in the mirror every day and see, am I doing better than I was last week? You doing it on Monday and Tuesday and then stopping Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I feel like that's where you start to slack off. And as humans, we're imperfect. We're imperfect in a lot of things,
Okay. Like you see, like the way you see self reflection, right? Mm-hmm. As an athlete, I think it's much easier because because as an athlete, practice, right? Because when you start practicing, you start watching the things you're good at, the things you're not good at.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like on our day-to-day life, we should be able to do that. Right? Because if today you did something wrong, you should look at yourself and say, hey, man, I need to improve on that thing.
You should, but are we really doing it?
You know what I'm saying?
That's the question.
So, and that's where I come in, because I see life as an athlete myself, because I'm like, yo, I got to look at the man in the mirror. Like, how can I make myself better?
You work on your weakness.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like, coming here, like, from Haiti, is like, okay, you don't know English. So how you going to put yourself in position to learn English? Because like that's why I'm very big on language and communication, is like, because language is a bit of repetition, right? Because like you don't wake up one day and say, okay, shit, I'm just gonna learn Spanish. Nah, it's every day you learn a new word, and then you meet a stranger, and then you try that new words on that stranger, or that whole sentence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get better. And I feel like in our day-to-day life, we need to start being very intentional about our growth and about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but with growth, you got to be able to be willing to make adjustments.
There you go.
A lot of people don't want to grow because they're stuck in their way. A lot of people are comfortable doing the same routine every day, but it's like you're gonna have to take risks. You're not living life if you're taking risks. I mean, it's you got two options: are you living or are you existing?
There you go.
And a lot of people are just existing. They wake up every day. Well, I'm here, I'm breathing, and half of my bills are paid. All my bills are paid, you know. But are you really living life? You know, are you really, you know, setting aside a different goal each and every month, week, year? You know, you got to be able to challenge yourself every year, because at the end of the day, if you don't challenge yourself, you're just adding another candle to your birthday cake. And what are you doing? You know, you got to really self-reflect.
Yeah, we're going
growth.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to sport. Just like, bruh. In high school, I tried for the basketball team 4 times.
Yeah.
Since freshman to the senior. Mm-hmm. Not one day I ever say, man, you know what? I need to learn how to dribble better. I need to learn how to, because learning, like, sport is a language. Like, you got to learn, like, the language. And I was trying to learn English and trying to learn basketball. And none of my, my closest friend was, like, how can I say that? Because high school sport, it's you have a lot of rooms to grow. But is that, because a lot of us, we do it just because we want to be cool.
Yeah.
We want to get, because a lot of us, we want to get a scholarship.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because and I felt like, even though I didn't make the basketball team, but I used that work ethic in my life.
And speaking of work ethic, it's like, you know, me personally, I was one of the guys that I played sports because everybody around me played sports. Guys went to class. You should try. You should do this. You know, it's like a kid at the sand lot at the playground. You know,
yeah.
If you can bring a 3, 4, 5, 7-year-old kid at the park, and if they're playing tag, what do you want to do?
Man,
let me join.
You're right.
So it's like you still have that in you. You want to join. You don't want to be that outcast. You don't want to be that, that alienated. You don't want to be left out. So it's like, I was one of those guys. Like, I didn't play Pop Warner. I didn't play organized sports until high school, and realizing that, I didn't even know what I was doing in half of the sports. I jumped, I ran, and figured it out as I did. And that's the adjustments. Each and every year I figured out and learned a new method, a new terminology, new work ethic, Like, I was one of those guys in my high school at Golden Gate. I wasn't no weight room warrior. I didn't lift heavy. I was more on, like, durability. I was more on, angles. I was more on technique outside on the basketball court or on the field or on the track, So, I took those advantages, but I took those advantages in sports and used those work ethics in my life. Like, now, I look at every day in life like game day.
There you go.
How am I preparing myself?
There you go.
Self-discipline, accountability. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing to make myself better as a teammate? I look at everybody in my life like a teammate. When it comes like leadership as well too. Like, nowadays there's this thing that men don't really know how to lead. And I was one of those guys. I thought a leader was one of those guys that was a rah, 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 yelling type of guy. And I realized that wasn't me. Yeah. I didn't have that passion or that love for sports like that to, put my heart into it. But I realized, sports is very unforgiving. There's some injuries you will never come back from.
Yep, true.
And I realized I gotta play it safe. I gotta take this somewhat serious to be able to survive this game. And luckily, I was one of those guys that, took the opportunity and went to the next level and played collegiate and did professional, and came back and realized I still have to use these work ethics, these morals that I picked up from coaches. A lot of you go through a lot of coaches in your athletic days.
Yeah, yes.
And the crazy thing is, athletes, you got to find a new life once your career is done. Once your athletic days are done, your body gives up because you're gonna age. Your body's gonna break down on you sooner or later. What's next?
How you adjust it, go back to the game,
you gotta adjust. Now I gotta adjust to the real world.
Yep.
And athletes, some are privileged, some aren't, but you gotta realize that adjustment doesn't care if you're privileged or not. It's coming.
Yep.
Life is gonna adjust, or you either gotta prepare for the adjustments, or life is gonna do adjustments for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of athletes nowadays, they go through depression. They can't, they can't develop good relationships with people. They're so used to things being catered to them and handed to them.
Yeah, because there's certain skills that they never worked on.
Yeah, being able to have social skills is something that I realized I had, and I just never really mastered it. Like, I was one of those kids. I was a class clown, man, but I was able to adapt and realize, there's certain jokes I can say to a certain group of people that may not be funny, but if I say it in another dynamic or in another group, it's the most hilarious thing in the world. But I had to realize myself, there's a time, place, and a crowd to joke with.
And then for you to make that adjustment, it's a lot of brain muscle. For you to realize that, oh man, I cannot. That crowd, they're not gonna tolerate that joke.
Yeah.
Or they're not gonna tolerate that behavior right there.
So what do you do? And I always say this, comedians are one of the smartest people in the world. Think about it. Comedians are using everyday topics and using a funny punchline, funny metaphor, or funny way of storytelling.
Yep.
The punchline. Comedians literally making jokes about, race, black race, Chinese, white, politics, finance, fatherhood, motherhood, drugs, gun violence, traveling. They make jokes about so many different topics, but you have to be educated enough to know exactly what you're joking about, because you'll have people in the crowd that'll call you out your BF for you.
Yeah, because a lot of comedians use their own personal life to make jokes out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then their personal life could come with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're able to bring you in and then find a funny way to see the bigger picture, you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
There's always a bigger
picture. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's like someone who's telling stories. It's like like they have a special key.
Storytelling. Yeah, being able to tell stories. Everybody has that one uncle, that one aunt that can tell stories. But in order to tell a story, you got to be captivating. You got to lure and hold the audience. You got to lure and hold the attention.
Yeah, man.
And that's something that it's a skill within itself.
Yes.
That's something that it's inherited. Some people are blessed with the ability of great storytelling.
Yep.
And being able to understand that you can use that in a joking manner or in a concept, because think about it, comedians are literally getting paid thousands, billions, trillions, or not trillions, thousands of dollars, making good money, telling you everyday topics that are just funny.
Yep.
So they were able to find and focus and understand their skills, and being able to make that transition and making something out of their life off of that. But that's growth. You got to be able to go through uncomfortable times. You think every comedian get on the stage and they're just automatically funny? Nah. I'm a firm believer that most comedians, they done got booed before. They done got tomatoes thrown at them, whether it's at the Apollo or not.
Yep.
You got to go through hardship and stuff. Because with being black, being an African American nowadays in society. Today's June 19th, right? Juneteenth, right?
Yes.
So we're celebrating Texas finally being free. After they've been free. Everybody has mixed feelings about it. Some people they're actually excited that it's in a holiday. Some people aren't. It's been long overdue. Buffalo, New York, they've been free for the last 45 years.
Yep.
And I really look at it like this, and I'm glad there's a holiday, because now the people behind us will ask, why is this a holiday?
Yeah, because it's I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that, right? Because just this week, our current president signed Juneteenth as a federal holiday, and the Juneteenth, I didn't learn that in high school.
No, I learned that at my HBCU. Shout out to Morgan State University.